Hi, my name is Candace, okay? And I'm a Days of Our Life-aholic, okay? I love Days, okay? It starts with my best friend Steffi, but it comes on when we're at school, so we have to like tape it and go over and watch it, you know? So the other day I'm at my locker doing my thing, right? And Steffi comes up and she's all, you know, like, hey Candace, after school today you want to go over to my house and watch Days? And I said okay, and she said okay, and I said okay, and she said okay, and I said okay, and she said okay, and we said okay, okay, right? So anywho, after cheer practice, we go over to her house and we're like rewinding the tape and everything. And my stomach is like grr, you know? And so we go into her kitchen to try and find something to eat. And it's like, oh Mother Hubbard, the cupboard is bare, right? And all of a sudden, I find this can of Beenie Weenies, okay? And I'm like, Beenie Weenies? I don't think so. And I'm all like, Steffi, Beenie Weenies? And she's like, okay. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, okay. And we're like, okay, 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 right? So anywho, we take the can of Beenie Weenies and we put them in the bowls and we nuke them and whatnot, you know. And then we sit down and we're watching Days and we're eating Beenie Weenies, okay? So a little bit of time goes by, right? And all of a sudden, the front door comes swinging open, and it's her little brother, Brad, the brat. And he starts freaking out, right? And he's like, oh my gosh, you're eating my Beenie Weenies. I start laughing. I shoot a beanie out my nose. I mean, I'm not talking like blur, okay? I'm talking like, you know? I mean, that beanie shot across the room. It was like, cha, you know? It almost poked out Steffi's eye. She was like, ah! That beanie was traveling so fast, it like embedded itself in the wall, okay? Like we tried to pry it out with a fork and could not get the beanie out of the wall, okay? Like her parents had to come in later and paint over the beanie in the wall. There's still a beanie bump in the wall today. It's how her grandpa knows where he is in the house, okay? So she's sitting there, and I'm sitting there and I've got beanie juice running down my face. I'm like, oh my goodness, you know? So I go in the bathroom and I'm all blowing beanie out my nose. And all of a sudden the doorbell rings, right? And it's her boyfriend, Kirk, the jerk, okay? So he comes in and he's all telling that she's not this and he's that and this and that and everything. And meanwhile, I'm stranded in the bathroom, right? So a little bit of time goes by. I crack the door open and give him the sign, psst, Beanie's gone, you know? So they go back outside and I sit down and I'm like, Beanies? I don't think so. A little more time goes by, right? Steffi comes back in, she's all crying and everything. And I'm all like, hey girl, what's up? You know? And she looks at me, right? And we don't normally talk about God or nothing like that. And she looks at me and she's like, hey Candace, tell me about Jesus. And I'm like, okay. Well, he wears these cool Karachi sandals. He's got a nice long white robe with long brown hair with no split ends. When he walks, his upper body doesn't move, you know? And she looks at me, right? And she's like, no, Candace, I'm Sirrus. Excuse me? Anywho, she's like, no, Candace, I'm Sirrus. Excuse me? Right here? Little Miss Thing right here? I don't think I came in all making fun of you, did I? I'm Sirrus, it's a heart attack. I'll take you outside and beat you like a carny. I'm Sirrus. You'll cry every time you see a Ferris wheel. You know what? Here's the left, here's the right. You're too white, okay? Anywho, back to me, Candace, away from rudeness, all right? So she says she's Sirrus. So I tell her everything I know about Jesus, right? I go home and pray for her and whatnot. It's totally cool. Next day I'm at my locker doing my thing. She comes running up. She's like, hey, Candace, guess what? I'm like, what? She's like, guess what? I'm like, what? She's like, guess what? I'm like, shut up and tell me, okay? She's like, last night in my bedroom, I asked Jesus into my life. And I was all like, are you Sirrus? And she was like, seriously, you know? So that night I was all praying everything, and I was all like, hey God, if you ever want to use me again, it's totally cool. And God was like, okay. And I was like, okay. And he's like, okay. And I was like, okay. And we're like, okay. And then I was like, P.S. God, next time, can we leave the Beenie Weenies out? Thank you very much. You guys.